it's Miree. Welcome back to my channel. And today, as you can tell by the title of the video, we are going to be doing a natural hair Q&A. But before we get started with the video, subscribe down below because we only road to 100,000 subscribers. Cut on that bell notification because I try to post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4:45 Central Standard Time. Check out my social media, especially my spam account Thickums 2.0, because that is where you will catch me the most active, as well as my main Instagram account, Taylor Miree. And without further ado, we can get started with the video. So let me go ahead and take my bonnet off. I look crazy. My hair is tired. I haven't done anything to it. I literally went out in public looking like this today. But I'm gonna try and do my hair while I'm talking to y'all. I feel like it fits. Yeah, let's get into these questions. The first question is from Kimi. She said, how do I grow my hair without buying expensive stuff? So honestly, the most expensive stuff doesn't always actually work on your hair for real, because it's like you can go to the Dollar Tree and find products that are literally for $1 and they work even better or just as well as the most expensive products, because some of the expensive products don't even work like that for real. So you can go to Dollar Tree or even go to Dollar General and find some super cheap products. I'm gonna be dropping a video on that in the future on like a wash day routine but with Dollar Tree products. Okay, Penny from the Proud family said, how many times a week should I wash my hair if it's natural curl? I usually wash it every 2 days, but I'm not sure. So personally, to me, it depends on how much products you actually put on your hair throughout the week. Do you put on a lot of gels? Do you just put a lot of products in general in your hair? If that's the case, you washing your hair every week or once a week or like every 4 days, or how, if you feel like there's a lot of buildup on your hair, or if you feel like there is a lot of gel on your hair feels sticky and icky and it smells, then you of course need to wash it. Wash it when it needs to be washed. If you can't find an actual few days to wash it or find certain days to wash it when you feel like it needs to be washed. What is your hair type? So basically what my hair type is, 3C in the front, on the sides of my head, like over here and in the very back and in the nape of my head, I have 4B hair, and then in the crown or like the center of my head and the rest of my hair, I have 4A. And some people also asked what my hair porosity was. For the most part, most of it is high hair porosity, but like in the crown and in the center of my head, it's low porosity. It's very weird because I can't put too many products up there, otherwise it takes for freaking ever to dry. Whenever I do a wash and go and I have a bunch of gel up there, it takes ages for it to dry. My hoobie said, how do you prevent shrinkage? So honestly, I'm gonna be completely and utterly honest with you, shrinkage is pretty much inevitable, especially whenever it comes to type 4 hair. You're gonna have some level of shrinkage or some type of shrinkage, but in order for you to like try and control it in a sense, or control it to where it's not too bad, what I do sometimes is before I do a twist out or a braid out, if I really don't want the shrinkage to be that bad, I blow dry my hair and stretch my hair first before I actually twist it up or braid it up or wherever I'm trying to do. And if you have a twist out or a braid out, you can do the banding method. So basically what the banding method is, you can go through your hair, cloth bands, so big hair bands, big hair ties, headbands, old headbands and stuff like that, and literally wrap it around your hair from the root all the way down, kind of sort of to the end whenever you have it in twist. That's one way you can do it. Another way is you can actually blow dry the twists and stretch the twist so it'll be longer and it'll elongate it a little bit before you actually take the twist down. Okay, so Anaya said, I go swimming at the sea every other day. My 3C 4A hair does not like it. So it makes my hair dry and crunchy. After I don't want to wash my hair every other day, do you have any advice? Honestly, I feel like, obviously I'm sure you do wear a cap. Guess you could say some way you could help to deal with it or do it is put your hair in braids or like plaits, I guess you could say, or do it in twists. So basically, honestly, I do suggest braids because braids are way more durable. So you can put your hair in the braid, moisturize your hair. Like once you're done swimming and stuff like that, you can go wash your hair and wash the braids, drench the braids and everything like that. That way it'll somewhat kind of sort of get the salt and stuff out your hair, and then you can moisturize your hair after you're done. I honestly suggest getting shea butter, because shea butter to spray your hair with some water or leave-in. Get some shea butter and put the shea butter through your hair. It'll keep your hair moisturized for a very long time and last you a while. Shea butter is very thick and heavy to keep your hair moisturized. I know that probably didn't help that much, but I I'm sorry, it probably didn't help that much. Okay, Samantha Samuel says, what's your hair porosity? I said it was high, but it was low in some areas. Tips on retaining moisture. Okay, so honestly, if you have any hair porosity, you can do these. But one of the biggest tips that I do, or what I pay attention to, well, I'm sure everybody does this whenever it comes to deep conditioning. If you have a dryer, and if you have any type of shower caps, or if you have a plastic bag, put the deep conditioner through your hair. Wet your hair. Please make sure your hair is drenched before you put any type of deep conditioner through it. Keep the cap on for like an hour while you're under the dryer, so we can get that moisture going through. And your hair should be very, very moisturized once you take the cap off. Another tip, whenever you rinse the deep conditioner out, rinse it out with cold water. Whenever you rinse your hair out with cold water, it shocks the cuticles closed. That way it'll keep the moisture locked into your hair. Another way in order to get moisture into your hair is you wet your hair with warm water in order to shock the cuticles of your hair shaft open, so that way the product can get in easier. And then if you want to shock it back closed, use cold water. But another thing I do is I make a refresher spray. So what a refresher spray is, you can get some water, warm water, or any kind of, like, it doesn't matter because throughout the week it'll get cold. Get a leave-in conditioner or a regular conditioner. Put the conditioner throughout the water bottle, and just throughout the week, if your hair needs a refresh, you can spray it with the refresher spray, or spray it with the water and leave-in conditioner mix. Like, that way your hair can have some type of moisture throughout the week. If you don't want to just sit there and do the whole entire moisture routine, you can do that instead. Growth tip, manipulate your scalp as much as possible. Well, not as much as possible, but like at least once a week, or oil your scalp at least once a week. That's what I personally do. But some people love to say, oh, your hair naturally produces sebum, which is the natural hair oil. But honestly, I like to add to that, and it's perfectly fine with me. I've been doing it for like years now, and it's been fine to me. Specifically, Jamaican black castor oil or hot oil treatments do help with hair growth. At least for me, it's helped with hair growth. So in my hot oil treatments, I would use like coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, and Jamaican black castor oil. Let it warm up and get hot. Let the hot oils run through the cup in the stove. Put it on my hair, leave it on my hair for like an hour, and rub it in my scalp. It'll like deeply penetrate my hair, and it's helped a lot. And the last one is go-to products. Shea butter, that's the main one. Another go-to product is my Style Factor Edge Booster Gel. This stuff has so much hold to it. And Wetline Extreme Gel has a lot of hold to it too. It's very, very strong. Or a leave-in conditioner that I highly suggest is the Shea Moisture Jamaican Black Castor Oil leave-in conditioner in the yellow tub. Those are my go-to products, honestly. And also a go-to deep-in conditioner is the Manuka Honey, I think it's what it's called, by Shea Moisture too. It smells so good. Like, I just used it on my hair like 3 days ago, and the smell is still in my hair. That's how strong the smell is. Like I said, how do you figure out what hair type you have? So honestly, what I suggest you do whenever you're trying to figure out your hair type or see what kind of hair texture you have is you can go off, of course, wet your hair, get some type of moisture going throughout your hair so it'll be able to show the pattern itself. Get some conditioner, get some type of conditioner, rub the conditioner all throughout your hair, finger detangle your hair, finger coil your hair, and over time, after a little bit, your hair pattern will eventually show. Some people were also asking, how do you even know what your hair type is? You should be able to tell your hair type with a chart, and the chart goes from type 1 hair all the way from 2A, 2B, 2C, 3A, 3B, 3C, all the way from 4A, 4B to 4C, and you should be able to tell what your hair type is. So Noah Love said, is getting a perm or relaxer on your hair all that bad? Love you, by the way. Love you too. But to me personally, I feel like yes, it is. Only due to the fact there are a lot of side effects whenever it comes to perms. One, it can burn. It really does burn your scalp if you leave it on for too long. 2, it leads and has causes to cancer. 3, it doesn't even smell that good either. I can't personally stand the smell of perm. But if you want to get a perm, and if you feel like it'll provide and give you length and such like that, then yeah, go get a perm if you want to get a perm, because at the end of the day, it is your hair and you can do what you please with your hair. I also think of it like this: people dye their hair and stuff like that, and they aren't supposed to dye it, and dyeing your hair has a lot of damage to it. And don't let people in the natural hair community or people with curly hair discourage you from getting a perm. If that's something that you want to do, then do it, because those same people dye their hair, and like I said, dyeing your hair has terrible effects on it. Noodle, I don't want anything to do with relaxers anymore, but I honestly ruin my hair whenever I go natural because I have no idea what I'm doing. What YouTuber do you recommend learning from for type 4 hair, and how to convince your mom to let you go natural? First, some natural hair YouTubers that I suggest, one of them is Naturally Philo, Bubs B, Natural 85, Nappy Foo, African Beauty, Natural Rain. There aren't that many that can come off the dome because I follow so many and I'm subscribed to so many of them, but I'll put some more up on the screen. There are a few of them, but as for trying to convince your mother, so one, you will probably end up saving money, because yes, that being natural can cost a lot of money, but at the same time it doesn't have to cost that much money, because like I said earlier, there are Dollar Tree hair products, and Dollar Tree hair products are literally just $1, and there are some good Dollar Tree hair products. You can save money too. It's way healthier for your hair. 3 relaxers in themselves most likely end up costing a lot of money too, and that in itself is a very long process. Utica said, how do I get my perm hair to become natural again, and what are the best products to help with really thick hair? You cannot revert relaxed hair from its perm state, so the best thing at this point is you have to cut off your hair. You're gonna have to big chop your hair and chop everything off completely, or you can transition for a couple years or a couple months, or however long you want to transition. Also, some natural hair products that I could recommend for thicker hair, the main one is Jamaican black castor oil. Over time, Jamaican black castor oil will, yes, add length, but it also thickens your hair, and for me, coconut oil also helps with thickness and thickening your hair over time too. Chance Stewart said, do you recommend co-washing or no? Honestly, co-washing, I used to do it, but after a while I stopped because I didn't like the amount of moisture I was getting from it. Yeah, I didn't like the amount of moisture. I feel like cold washing is fine if you want to do that throughout the week to add a little oomph of moisture to your hair, then do it. But as for doing it every single weekend to like clean your hair and stuff like that, I don't suggest it, because there's moisture overload. Too much moisture can end up making your hair very weak and limp. But if you want to add some moisture to your hair, then co-washing, yes. But if you want to truly clean and clarify your hair, or try to use co-washing to clean and clarify your hair, it won't work. You need a shampoo with some sulfate, or put diluted apple cider vinegar throughout your scalp and stuff in order to actually clean it or deep clean it and such. But co-washing for moisture, yes. For clarification, no. MK said, how do you maintain length? It's important to protect your ends. I'm sure everybody says this all the time, but it is very true. Protect your ends, and there are 2 ways to protect your ends. You can either moisturize your ends or put Jamaican black castor oil or any type of oil on your ends in order to protect them from the weather, to protect them from your clothes and such. Another way is to tuck your ends away, protective styles, weaves and stuff like that, or braids, or like Marley twists. That'll end up tucking your ends away. So you need to protect your ends with some type of oil in order to retain the length that you want, or you need to tuck your ends away. Or you can do mini twists and tuck your twists and tuck your ends away within the mini twists, or you can do flat twists, or do like 2 big flat twists on your head and to tuck your ends away, and that'll protect it. You don't always have to have some type of weave in order to do a protective style on your hair. You can use your hair in order to do a protective style. Okay, so Soul Liminal said, which method do you use or recommend for the LOC or the LOG method? LOG? I ain't never heard of nothing like that before. LOG? What is LOG? Let me look this up. I know LOC. LOC is liquid oil cream. LOG method for a shiny moisturized wash and go. Oh, liquid oil gel. I'm so uncultured. I've never used liquid. Oh yes, I have used liquid oil gel, and I just never realized it. I've done it for a wash and go. But if you are going to do something like a wash and go and put oil before you put the gel on, it's going to take a long time for your hair to dry. At least for me, it took a long time for my hair to dry. Even if you put the oil on top after a wash and go, it's going to take a long time for your hair to dry. I personally do the LOC, which is the liquid oil cream. So I would do a water leave-in or a mix of a regular leave-in conditioner and water. Oil, I would use Jamaican black castor oil. And for my cream, or for my butter, I guess you could say, I would use shea butter. I personally feel like if you want moisture, I suggest the LOC method, but if you want more definition than anything, I suggest the LOG method. That's a bunch of methods people use, but at the end, you also have to realize when you mix the products together, they aren't going on in layers. They're all gonna mix up together once they go into your hair, go into your scalp. So at the end of the day, it doesn't truly matter, but there are also different methods for different results that you want. Serenity G said, is it possible to define 4C hair and do a wash and go? Yes, it is. But what I've noticed whenever it comes to 4C hair, it's not like an actual, it's like levels to it, I guess you could say, which I personally feel like it's more than like the 9 natural hair curl patterns that people show up or that are on the chart, because sometimes it's a super duper duper like tighter than 4B kind of curl, and sometimes it's like a Z kind of thing, like a super tight Z. So it's like levels to 4C, I guess you could say. From what I've noticed, it's most definitely possible to define 4C hair. Will there be a lot of shrinkage? Yes. Tamara said, how to detangle type 4 hair in the best. What I used to do compared to what I do now is very different. I don't use any products to detangle my hair except for water. I suggest using Aussie Mega Moist Conditioner because it has a ton. When I tell you it has a ton of slip, it has a ton of slip up in it, so it'll help you be able to detangle your hair. Not only that, but also use warm water. Warm water mixed with the Aussie Moist Conditioner and a tangle teaser. A dimming brush will help detangle your hair, but it will rip your hair out. So use a tangle teaser because the tangle teaser will literally make your hair, or like the tangles within your hair, melt. Courtney DTV said, when are you getting box sprays again? I want to try and get box sprays somewhere at the end of this month, honestly, because I'm really getting tired and dealing with my hair. My hair is getting longer and it's getting thicker. I can't deal with it right now. I'm getting tired of it. And it's like, since my hair is getting longer and thicker, my wash days are getting longer too, and I'm getting tired of it. If not, the beginning of next month if I can. Should I film the process? Would y'all like to see a video with me getting my hair box braided? Comment down below if you want me to do a video of me getting my hair braided. So Morgan asks, I really need motivation with my 4B 4C hair. Understand this, I always remember this. Like, I remember I used to feel so insecure about my hair when I first chopped it off and when it was growing, but I always remembered this. A lot of people would love to have the hair that I have, or a lot of people would love to have type 4 hair. There are also a lot of benefits with type 4 hair. One of them being, it is the most versatile hair ever. You can flat iron your hair, you can braid your hair and have super defined curls. You can twist your hair and have super defined curls. Your curls will shrink up a lot. Your curls can stretch so much that you can do with your hair. Not only that, your hair stands up. It literally defies gravity. Nobody else's hair does that. Who else's hair stands up? Literally stands up and just like plume, plume. Whose else's hair does that? Think of your hair as like being very magical. Miss Williams, I'm not even about to be disrespectful and trying to pronounce your first name. So their question is, which hair gel would you recommend? 3 hair gels that I would truly recommend. First being the Wetline Extreme hair gel, but the newer version that they just dropped and came out with like a few months ago. Then there is the Style Factor Edge Booster Gel. It has a ton of holes. Aunt Jackie's Don't Shrink Flaxseed Gel. Those are the 3 main gels that I suggest using, especially on type 4 hair, because it's like whenever it comes to specific gels, if they aren't strong or as harder gels, your hair will not be defined. Your hair will come out frizzy and it's just not gonna be cute. Black and French, and she said, can I possibly leave out my hair during the summertime, or is there a risk of it getting too dry? Yes, you can leave out your hair during the summertime for the most part. If I do not feel like getting a protective style during the summertime, that is what I do. I leave my hair out. I don't even twist it up. Like, I literally walk around with a big old afro on my head throughout the summertime if I don't want to do braids or anything like that. You can grow your hair out and not do protective styles. Yes, your hair will get dry, but I mentioned some tips earlier that you can use in order for you to keep your hair from being dry from during the summertime. So for example, deep conditioning is very important, especially during the summertime compared to when it is during the cold time or during the winter times and fall times. There's deep conditioning, there's shea butter to keep the moisture locked into your hair and keep it from being dry. So you can wear your natural hair out during the summertime, but you don't have to do protective styles in order to have it grow during the summertime. Yes, it'll be dry, but you can combat that dryness. Haley said, what is your go-to protective style and how do you keep it moisturized? My go-to protective style is honestly box braids. That's honestly what I've been doing. I haven't done any other protective style within the past years of my life. I've only been doing box braids. Worked for my hair and helped it grow. After a while, my hair feels a little bit dry. I go in with a refresher spray. Like I said before, a refresher spray is a mix of a water and a leave-in conditioner, and I spray my hair throughout the week and I oil my scalp throughout the week in order to keep my hair from being like dry when I take the protective style down. I'm Called Bubble said, how to keep your hair hydrated when you have high porosity. Like I mentioned before, water is your best friend whenever it comes to trying to keep that moisture within your hair, especially warm water, like specifically warm water and cold water, because cold water locks the moisture in, meanwhile hot water lets moisture into your hair. Not only that, smoothing helps too, because keep in mind you have hair cuticles, and whenever it comes to high hair porosity, your cuticles are wide open. So whenever you do put the moisture or put the moisturizing product into your hair, smooth it into your hair literally, so you'll be able to push the cuticles down in order to keep that moisture into your hair as well. I know one thing, this braid out better come out right. I'm cutting all my hair off. Sabi, I'm so sorry. She said, can I get a daily hair routine or a trim routine? I'm nervous to trim my own 4C hair. I noticed how comfortable you are. Whenever it comes to a daily routine, if I need to refresh my hair, honestly, I just, like I said earlier, I get the refresher spray, but something you could do at night in order to keep your hair from like getting all knotted up and tangled up or smushed in the mornings is pineapple your hair. Some people do 1 pineapple, some people do 2. I personally do 6, or if I'm feeling super duper lazy, I do 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I do pineapple, and then when I get up in the morning, or just something you can do when you get up in the morning, of course, take the pineapple down, spray your hair a little bit with the refresher spray if necessary, and shake your hair out, and you should be able to be fine with the hairstyle that you have. I don't really have a trim routine. It depends on how I feel or what I'm doing with my hair that night. So say for example, if my hair is blow dried or stretched out, I don't really care, to be honest. It's just hair, it'll grow back. I'll cut my hair when it's blown out. I'll cut my hair when it's in twists. I'll cut my hair and literally like y'all saw me earlier, I will like detangle my hair, comb my hair out if my ends feel bad, clip. So honestly, I don't have a routine, but if I feel like my hair needs to be cut, I'll cut it. Okay, Divine said, what are good products to keep your hair moisturized and hydrated for long periods of time? Shea butter. I'm telling you, shea butter is key, and it is very thick, and it'll keep the moisture in your hair. Of course, you're going to need some type of leave-in conditioner. A leave-in conditioner, like I suggested earlier, or the one that I use, and that's my go-to, is the Jamaican Black Castor Oil Shea Moisture Leave-In Conditioner. Secret Life said, I have in some mini braids right now. What can I use to moisturize it? By the way, I love your hair. If you don't want your hair to shrink up that much while it's in the mini braids or mini twists, you could use a spray leave-in conditioner or a super light leave-in conditioner like the Kinky Curly Knot Today. That is super duper light to keep it moisturized. But also, if you don't want to use any type of leave-in conditioner, you can literally just use water and a light oil like coconut oil, and it'll be fine, and you'll be able to keep your hair moisturized while it's in the braids. Simply Bay asks, Simply Bay said, hey, my hair is very damaged because of my mom. She uses a relaxer on it and it killed my damaged curls and hair. I can't seem to get my natural curls back. I don't know what to do. Please help. I'm thinking of shaving it all. Shaving it so I can regrow it, but I don't know if it works. If she's relaxed it, then you will most likely have to end up shaving all of your hair off. But in order for you to get some motivation and to be encouraged to chop your hair off, go on YouTube and try and find some people who have done or have been in the same predicament or situation as you. But it's not as scary when you finally do it. Over time, your confidence will build and grow. Jamie said, can you talk about how to trim your hair, like how to do it, how much, and how often? So for me personally, whenever it comes to me chopping my hair off, I do it whenever I feel it is necessary. I don't have a set time for when I cut my hair. Some people do that, but for me personally, I do not. So whenever it comes to me cutting my ends off, and when I know when to cut my hair off, I feel my ends. So if my ends do not feel like the rest of my hair up here, and if it feels brittle and like brillowy and such, I will cut my hair off. And I cut off, it depends honestly on how I feel. I think it's kind of bad, but for the most part, whenever I do chop off my ends, it is ½ an inch about majority of the time whenever it's time for me to chop them off. How does one determine their hair porosity? Whenever it comes to figuring out your hair porosity, there are tests you can take, but the main test that I did personally was the hair in the water cup test. What you need to do is go and get a hair strand out of your head, a clean hair strand at that. Make sure it is fresh. You can be fresh at the shower. Once it's shampooed, go ahead and clip a little strand, just like a little string. You can get the same strand of hair, go get a cup of water, specifically warm water, put the strand of hair in the cup and leave it there for 5 minutes. Do not touch it, do not push it down, just leave it alone. Let it sit there for 5 minutes in the cup. Once you check the cup and see where the hair strand is, and if it's at the very top still, you have low porosity hair, because your hair, whenever it comes to low porosity, it's hard to get moisture into the hair. Therefore, it was hard for the water to get in the hair strand. If you have high porosity hair, it's most likely at the very bottom of the cup, because whenever it comes to high porosity, due to your cuticles being wide open, your moisture is able to get into your hair, but it's also easy for moisture to get out of your hair. So if it's at the bottom, you have high porosity because your cuticles are like this. If it's at the top, you have low porosity because your cuticles are like this. But if it's in the middle, you are perfectly fine and have normal hair porosity. My hair is growing. I need to do a length check. I might do a length check video. Do y'all want a length check video? I don't know. PT Dar said, what edge controls do you suggest for best hold? So there is for me personally, these have been working. They're not the best hold, but it's pretty much the best hold compared to the past edge controls that I've used in my life. So there is the Edge Booster Style Factor edge control. That stuff, it's actually stronger than what I thought it would be. I thought it was about to be weak when I first felt it, because it felt super duper soft. It didn't feel rough or hard compared to the other gels I've used. It actually has a good bit of hold to it personally, but whenever it comes to doing that or using that, it has a lot of build up to it. So if, for example, if I were to do braids, if I were to have braids up in my hair and I want my edges laid still, I would not use that. I would use the Edge Wax. It's very soft. It has some hold to it, but after a while, if you sweat a lot, then it will most likely come out. But for the most part, it's what I've been using for the past couple years. TT also said, how long did it take to get your hair to this length? July 26th, I will have been 4 years natural, because I big chopped back in 2016. It is 2020. But honestly, my hair would most likely be longer than this if I hadn't chopped 5 inches off like 2 years ago. At one point in time, my ends were so bad and I was getting tired of my hair. I literally chopped off like 5 inches of my hair because I just couldn't do it anymore. No, I didn't do it. My mom did it. She was also pretty much scissor happy. She was getting scissor happy. Still scissor happy, to be honest. But she chopped off a good chunk of my hair, and I wanted a good chunk of my hair chopped off anyway. I was getting tired of it. Royal Cupcake said, how to train my curls. Girl, let me tell you come. It's gonna take, like, for me personally, it took me a year to train my curls to like get used to stuff like blow drying, because they obviously aren't used to having heat on your hair. But after a while, if you do a certain thing slowly in small amounts, bit by bit, after a while your hair will get used to it and be trained to. Like I said, it took a while for my hair to officially get used to me blow drying it. I've been blow drying it in like March. I think it was March. So it's gonna take a minute for me to like train my hair back to getting used to blow dry. I don't need to do it too hot, otherwise my hair can get damaged. Okay, Luna Solar said, how much does 4A hair shrink? A lot. I'm gonna post a picture up in here of my hair completely shrunken as of recently. It's very shrunken. My hair is stretched out to right here, but it'll shrink up to like right here if I let it, honestly, because it takes up so much moisture, and it doesn't help the fact that it's also high porosity, because high porosity soaks up moisture like crazy. But whenever your hair shrinks, that shows that it's healthy. So shrinkage is pretty much normal and fine, really. Sophia said, what are your thoughts on discrimination against 4C hair? Child, I plan on doing a whole video on that later this month. I'm ending these people, coming for these people's throats, their necks, because they've been really disrespectful to type 4C hair, and I'm honestly sick of it. But y'all will see. I will be talking my crap in a future video. So Miree said, how hard would you say your hair is to deal with on a scale of 1 to 10? Ooh. As of lately, it's been a good 8. I'm getting tired of it, like I said before, so I'm gonna end up getting braids to deal with it. But for the most part, it's an 8 because of how dense my hair is, and I get really tired of dealing with it after a while. Like, I can't handle it at certain points, but for the most part, pretty much an 8. Also, y'all, whenever it comes to twist outs or braid outs, if you want your ends super duper curly and nice, you can honestly get a rat tail comb and detangle the ends, and it'll be super duper smooth. I learned that from African Beauty. Rhea Bush, how do you prepare your hair for salt water? I'm gonna be completely and utterly honest with you, I don't. If my hair is like dirty, I guess you could say, then I would probably go off and like rinse it with warm water just to rinse out product and stuff. Then I would like put it up. So, but for the most part, I don't really truly go and dig deep and in when it comes to prepping my hair for salt water or for like pools. If I truly care, then I would like do my hair and twist just so my hair won't be too bad or dragged through the dirt or through the water too bad, I guess you could say. But for the most part, I don't really do that much prepping for my hair whenever it comes to water. So Ari said, how long do you want your natural hair to grow? Honestly, I need to chill out and quit cutting it, but sometimes it needs to be cut. That's just my fault. I need to take better care of my ends, but I would like my hair at some point in the future to reach down to my butt. That would be lovely. I would love inches. Like the goal, honestly the goal and how big I want my hair to be. Have y'all seen Natural Rain? I'm sure y'all seen Natural Rain. I put a video or like a picture up in here of her, how big her hair is how big I want my hair to be within the next few years or so. So when I flat iron it, I can be like, ah, and rip it all over the place. Ale Blanco said, have you always liked your curly hair? What messages do you have for girls who are struggling with their curly hair? What products are some must-haves? What is your favorite thing about your curly hair? Have you always liked your curly hair? I'm gonna be honest with you, when I first big chopped my hair like 4 years ago, I hated my hair when I first cut it off because of how short it was. I hated short hair. Short hair does not look good on me. Some people can pull it off, but I can't. And not only that, I couldn't truly define my hair because it would be even more shrunken, and I just didn't like shrinkage at the time. I would have to pick it out and put it into an afro, and I did not like the afro look on my hair. It was very short. If I can find pictures and put them up in here, I will. But at first I hated my hair, but now I truly do love my hair. I could say this isn't necessarily a message, but a tip. I guess you could say you could go on Instagram, for example, and find girls who have your hair texture that is very similar to you, and you could follow them, and after a while and watching them and following their content and stuff like that, you will eventually feel motivated. But also, don't be insecure about your curly hair, because it's a ton of people on this earth who would love to have your hair. And what is your favorite thing about your curly hair? Oh, I like how I'm able to do anything with my hair. I'm able to stretch my hair. I'm able to make my hair super duper curly and shrink up. I'm able to have my hair super long. I'm able to do any style with my hair because it can hold it due to how tight the texture is. This one is cute. Oh, that is so cute. So Rock Curious said, is the natural hair chart for women the same as men? And if not, what's the natural hair chart for men? That is so cute. It's all the same, really. It's just that hair is really popular among women, and women take hair as a big priority. The same curl patterns that you see on the chart for the women is the same thing for men, because the same hair textures can grow out of men's head as well. So there isn't a gender whenever it comes to hair at all. There's not a gender whenever it comes to the hair charts either. Madison Green said, can I touch it? No. Sydney McCray said, can you change your hair porosity? Technically, yes, you can change your hair porosity. If anything, if you do change your hair porosity, it will most likely end up going higher, and here is why. Whenever it comes to you dyeing your hair, it can change your hair porosity and especially make it higher. If you bleach your hair is going to end up being drier because some of your hair, like the natural colors and the natural things within your hair, have been stripped. Therefore, your hair will end up being higher porosity, and therefore it'll end up needing more moisture. So technically, yes, you can change your hair porosity, but it's not healthy for you to be like bleaching and dyeing your hair and stuff. Really, if you want to do it, you can do it, because at the end of the day, it's your hair and your rules. Final question, and the last question, was how do you grow your edges? So whenever it comes to growing out your edges, oh my goodness, I look like a little boy. Ew. So whenever it comes to growing out your edges, I feel like an oil that is really important is Jamaican black castor oil. So what I would do, or if I wanted to grow my edges out, is yes, I will put my hair in the pineapples, but I would leave hair out in the front. Now when you leave hair out in the front, you're gonna get some oil, moisturize the sections in the front where your edges are thin at, flat twist them lightly, do it lightly. Do not do it too hard or else you'll rip your edges. Rub the oil through, flat twist it lightly, and do that for like a few weeks, and then after a while your edges will eventually start growing back. So that is the end of this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, cut on that bell notification, check out my other natural hair videos. There'll be a link for that up in the iCard up above, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.